Very good morning, dear students. Welcome back to the today's session. And this session, we are going to continue the discussion of one more concept in the chapter 1, that is WTO, World Trade Organization. And previous class, we have completed the discussion of globalization and one of the important outcome of globalization, that is outsourcing process. And today's session we are going to move in the discussion of WTO, because after adapting the globalization, the world we have started relationship with our trade relationship with world countries are more than more number of countries, and to take care of all the world countries and to maintain the trade relationship between the countries in a healthy way, there existed one particular institution. That institution is nothing but WTO. The WTO is came into existence to take care of the international trade relationships. WTO. It means World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization. And the World Trade Organization came into the existence in the year of World Trade came into existence on 1st July 1995. The World Trade Organization has came into existence in the year of 1995. And before that, you can ask, before existence of WTO, there was a international trading or foreign trading. Then who used to take care of the international trade means there was one institution, that is GATT. GATT means General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. In 1948, under UNO, the GATT came into existence to take care of the world trade activities. But the GATT became a failure to proper maintenance of the international relationship. That's why in place of GATT, the WTO came into the existence to take care of the world trade relationships or international trade relationships. That's why WTO is called as a successor of GATT. After the GATT, to take care of the world trade relationship among the world countries, that is WTO. That's why WTO is the successor of GATT. Here GATT means general. They can ask for 1 marks. Could you expand the GATT? General agreement on trade and tariff. General agreement on trade and tariff. This is what GATT. The GATT was established in 1948 with 23 member countries. member countries have agreed to the GATT. And the GATT was only institution which used to take care of the world trade relationships or international trade relationships. And in place of GATT, in 1995, the WTO was established to take care of the world trade relationships. Then, here the WTO have headquarter in New York, and it's have 183 member countries at present. 183 member countries at present. Got it? And the main aim of the WTO is to liberalize the trade relationship between the countries of its members. Got it? Because earlier, before the reforms in India, we used to face so many struggles to involve in the foreign exports and imports, because we used to put some restrictions and tariffs, quotas, qualitative restrictions like quantitative restrictions, etc. In the same way, even other countries also used to protect their countries by levying different types of restrictions, so that there was no free movement of goods and services from between country to country, and it's creating wastage of resources and improper utilization of resources, and almost all the countries are facing shortage of goods and services, shortage of resources which they have needed and which they don't have in their own country. And to overcome all these particular problems, the WTO is established to maintain the healthy trade relationship between the countries without any restrictions. That was the main aim of the WTO. Healthy trade relationship means without any domination of one country or two countries, giving an equal opportunity to every country to export what they have excess and import what they have shortage. To in this way, to maintain the progress in international trade, the WTO came into existence. And the main aim of the WTO is liberalization of foreign trade activities by giving or providing equal opportunities to each and every member country. Why we need to promote foreign trade activities, and why we need to make every country to involve in the foreign trade means for the proper utilization of world resources and to create good environment between the countries. This is what the main purpose or aim. And with this aim, even the WTO has so many objectives or aims in the world. What are the objectives or aims of the WTO? That will be discussed one by one. I hope you understood the introduction part of WTO. The WTO was established in 19 95, and is a successor of GATT. GATT means General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. The GATT was established in 1948 with 23 member countries. Then the WTO had its headquarters in New York, and now it's have a 183. It have 183 member countries, and the main aim of the WTO is the liberalization of foreign trade activities by providing the equal opportunity to each and every member country. Got it? And we'll discuss some other objectives of the WTO. The objectives of WTO is the first objective is it helps to it helps to develop the it helps to develop the international trade relationships by providing equal opportunities and second main objective is and here the WTO also helps to remove the restrictions on international trade. Okay, each and every country, as I said, each and every country used to protect the domestic industries by levying on different types of taxes and quotas and different types of restrictions. But by removing all that restrictions, the WTO helps to the world countries, to each and every country to involve in the trading activities. Take down. It also helps to remove the trade restrictions between the member countries. And some of the countries are not having financial eligibility or financial capacity to involve in the foreign trade. If you want to import goods from the foreign trade, we should have some foreign exchange reserves. It means to pay the money, we need to have some financial ability, right? Some of the less developed countries are unable to import the goods, as well as if we want to export the goods, we should produce excess of goods than the requirement of a country. Or else when we produce the goods only based on requirement of our country, then it is unable to export. When we can export the goods means after fulfilling the needs of our country, if the goods and services are excess, then only we can able to concentrate on the exporting. And if we want to export means we need to improve the production of our country, right? If you want to improve the production, we need to invest more, or we need to invest the capital more and more if we want to produce the more number of goods. And then if we want to export also, we need financial ability, and at the same way if you want to import import the goods also we need financial ability. Then almost all the less developed countries are very poor in the financial ability. Then that countries are used to be far from the foreign trading activities. For that particular countries, the WTO is started financing. The WTO is started providing the financial assistance to the less developed countries to involve in the foreign trading activities. When the WTO started giving financial assistance to the less developed countries, the less developed country used to take financial assistance, and that money they used to invest on the production capacity of a country, and automatically when the production capacities increases, easily the countries used to involve in the exporting and importing of goods and services. In that way, the WTO, the main objective is enabling the each and every country to involve in the foreign trade. That's why it started providing financial assistance. Assistance means help. Financial assistance to the less developed countries to involve in the foreign trade. This is what also one of the main intention. And with this, the WTO have one more main intention or purpose or objective, that is optimum utilization of world resources. Which means, see here, in India we have we have ability to produce more number of agricultural goods. Yes, right. Then Arab country have more number of petroleum products production. Then using that all world resources in a proper way through the international trading activities, and also by utilizing the resources, we also the WTO have one more intention, that is protecting the environment by the pollution activities. First main aim is making proper utilization of world resources without any impact of the world environment, This is what the main aim of the WTO. And it means we should use the resources not in a bad manner, not in an exploit manner. We should use in a polite manner and based on the necessity only, in an optimum way, and that way of using the resources should not create any bad impact on the world's environment. Protecting the world environment, we should use the resources. By protecting the world environment, we should use the resources in a proper way. This is also one of the main intention. It helps to utilization of world resources. Without foreign trade, it is impossible to utilization of world resources. And it means when we transfer the resources from one country to another country, then only the resources can optimally utilized based on the needy world resources, and also protect the world environment. Protect the world environment. And at last, the WTO international trade. Here the WTO is also called it as a watchdog of international trade. Why? Because the WTO used to take care of the trading relationship between the countries. If any dispute, see, one or two members, if they are trading in a market, there used to arise some kind of disputes or clashes, and there should be a one aid to settle all these disputes and clashes between the persons. If think 183 countries, if they are trading each other or between them, then there is a chance to exist some disputes and some clashes between the countries in any way. But to settle that clashes or to solve all that particular disputes, the WTO is the first institution. It will be starts solve the disputes. That's why WTO will be called as a watchdog of international trade. If any problems arises in the trading activities between the country, the WTO is the first institution which try to solve it. That's why take down WTO we'll call it as a used to as a dispute settlement body of the international trade and also call it as watchdog of international trade. Got it? The WTO's one more particular aim is it used to work as a dispute settlement body. If any clashes or any misunderstandings arise between the country, then the WTO take care of that particular disputes and it try to solve it. Okay? And here, that's why the WTO will be called as a watchdog of international trade. It may be arises for 1 mark. Which institution is considered as a watchdog of international trade? Okay, the WTO is called as a watchdog of international trade. These are the main objectives of the WTO. The first objective is developing the international international trade relationships or healthy trade relationships between the countries by providing the equal opportunity. Trade relationships between the countries by providing the equal opportunities, and second one is it helps to remove the trade restrictions or trade barriers between the member countries, and also it started providing financial assistance to the less developed countries or underdeveloped countries. Why? Because to involve in the foreign trade, and it also helps to utilize the world's resources in an optimum manner, and at the same time it protects the world environment from the pollution. And the WTO works as a dispute settlement body of the international trade. That's why it's also called as watchdog of international trade. This is what WTO, and here World Trade Organization may be asked for 4 months or 6 months. What is WTO? And explain how it works in the international trade. Okay, RS, explain the objectives of WTO. In this RS, in orally they will ask, give a brief note on WTO. So, for this, in need to write all these concepts. I hope you understood the WTO. Yeah. Now we'll move to last one more concept in the chapter, that is impact of economic reforms. What are the steps we used to take that particular measures will be having benefits as well as merits as well as demerits. Where there is a benefits, there will be some disadvantages also, right? Advantages is there will be a disadvantage. In the same way, after adopting the economic reforms, whatever the benefits we enjoyed, at the same way we have affected some of the bad impacts also. Whatever the bad impacts or whatever the disadvantages or demerits happened after adapting the economic reforms, that will be discussed now. Okay. Impacts or effects, or effects of economic reforms. Economic reforms are new economic policy. Economic reforms on Indian economy. On Indian economy. Here we have two types of impacts. One is positive and negative impacts. Positive impacts means nothing but advantages. Negative impacts means nothing but disadvantages. After adopting economic reforms in the form of liberalization, privatization and globalization, we have enjoyed so many advantages. How in the sense, by increasing the industrial number of industries and the production capacity of industries, by adapting the new technology, modern equipments and modern expertise, everything. And the same time, foreign direct investments we started attracting, and foreign institutional investment, MNCs, TNCs. MNC means multinational companies, TNC means transnational companies, foreign FDI means foreign direct investment, FII means foreign institutional investment. It means this all the investments made by the foreigners. This all started, and in India the production capacity have increased in a rapid manner. Somewhere the rate of economic growth in the country have boosted. The inflation have came into the control. Likewise, the IT profession, it means information technology have got an exposure opportunity in a country, and we have achieved rapid growth in the export capacity. Everything was have a positive impact, but compared to our positive impacts, we have some of the negative, I means the disadvantages also. What are the negative impacts is mainly on Indian agriculture sector. Whatever the reforms we have made it, this is all only benefited to the industrial and service sector. The reforms have failed to support to the Indian agriculture sector. Whatever the reforms we adapted in the economy, that failed to support or to make some benefits to the growth of agriculture sector in the country. Okay, because India is mainly depends on agriculture. More than at present also more than 50% of population is still depending on agriculture. But the reforms have some negative impacts mainly on agriculture sector. What are the negative impacts, the reforms made on the agriculture sector that will be discussed now? The impacts mainly on agriculture, sector or primary sector. Firstly, in agriculture, there was no foreign direct investment or foreign institutional investment, and there is no any progress in the agriculture. Only the reforms have impacts on industry and service sector. In agriculture, only the bad impacts you can see in the first one. Public investment and agriculture sector, especially construction of roads, dams, irrigational projects, markets have been reduced. All type of investments relating to agricultural sector have been reduced. It means that agricultural sector started facing some severe problems, lack of roads, dams, irrigation facilities and all. And next, mainly the agriculture, the subsidies, early before 1991, the government used to announce subsidies on agricultural needed goods and services. But after reforms, the subsidies on fertilizers and pesticides have removed. Then it's created the cost of production, more cost of production, and it's affected badly to a small and marginal farmers. Subsidies on fertilizers and pesticides removed. It's affected badly on small farmers, small and marginal farmers. And all the restrictions relating agricultural products imports have removed. All the restrictions on agricultural products imports, not exports. The country is now open the doors for the import of agricultural goods and services. Then the demand for Indian agricultural products have been reduced and farmers are started facing the losses. Restrictions on agricultural goods, agricultural goods imports have reduced. and the farmers are affected badly by international competition. Then one more important adjective is the government removed minimum support price for agricultural products, and this also created bad impact on agricultural development. These are the bad impacts on agricultural sector due to economic reforms. Got it now? Then this is what the content of this chapter, and next we'll move to one more chapter discussion in the part B, and that will continue in the next session. Okay, I hope you all understood.